If you're shopping for a high-end monitor and thought the Samsung ViewFinity S9 was the ultimate 5K display, you might want to hold up. Because today, I'm revealing some serious pitfalls that could turn your dream setup into a leftover tech headache. But here's what surprised me. Despite boasting stunning 5K resolution and factory-calibrated color accuracy, this $1095 monitor struggles in ways no spec sheet warns you about. Therefore, buckle up as we dig deep into why the ViewFinity S9 might not be what you expect, and who it's actually for if you decide to roll the dice anyway. Now, let me start by saying this monitor is designed for creatives, photographers, designers, and anyone who absolutely needs color precision and extreme screen real estate. Samsung markets the ViewFinity S9 as a pro-grade display with a whopping 5K resolution, 218 pixels per inch, higher than your typical 4K display, paired with 99% DCI-P3 color gamut and factory calibration that promises true-to-life colors. So far, it's sounding like the perfect powerhouse for your digital workflow, right? Not quite. But here's the kicker. The moment I set it up, I noticed some glaring issues that make me hesitate before recommending this to anyone. First off, the matte display, which claims to drastically reduce light reflections, does well in a bright room, but it also kills some of the sharpness and vibrancy I was expecting from a 5K display. It's not like comparing a crisp Apple Retina panel to a usual matte overlay. Rather, it feels closer to putting sunglasses on your monitor. Samsung's intelligent eye care features do try to help by adjusting brightness and reducing blue light automatically. But if you're looking for groundbreaking eye comfort during long sessions, this monitor is more okay than outstanding. Speaking of which, let's talk about the so-called smart calibration feature. Samsung touts that you can customize the display color space, temperature, luminance, and gamma using just a smartphone. No extra hardware needed. Sounds futuristic, except the compatibility is spotty at best. It only works reliably with select Galaxy and iPhone models and requires the latest SmartThings app. Apple users with older devices or non-Samsung Android users will feel left out, making this smart feature more of a gimmick than a genuine game changer. Therefore, what's supposed to simplify your workflow ends up adding an annoying compatibility lottery. Now, if you're a content creator, you might also appreciate built-in extras like the 4K SlimFit camera for crystal-clear video calls, Thunderbolt 4 and DisplayPort inputs for Macs with Apple Silicon, and even the Samsung Gaming Hub for casual gaming without a console or PC. But here's a question. If you're spending over $1,000, do you really want these nice-to-have features mixed with serious compromises? Because users have reported inconsistent performance with Apple AirPlay mirroring, and the Gaming Hub is only available in limited countries with various subscription requirements. So while it sounds like a smart TV shoved into a pro monitor, the reality is it's neither the best at productivity nor gaming. Let me share a quick story to illustrate. A professional photographer I spoke with bought this monitor hoping to elevate his photo editing precision. After setting it up, he noticed the colors shifted depending on ambient lighting, despite the factory calibration. The matte screen dulled subtle gradients he relied on, and the smart calibration app failed to work on his latest iPhone properly. Frustrated, he ended up returning it and opting for a more traditional, proven 4K HDR panel with reliable third-party calibration tools, saving hundreds and getting better results. That's not just bad luck. It's a warning to anyone wooed by shiny specs but ignoring real-world usability. So by now, you're probably thinking, what exactly are the deal breakers? Why does this monitor hold an average 3-star rating on Amazon despite looking like a high-end winner? Well, here's where the plot thickens. Customers have consistently pointed out a few recurring problems. First, the high price tag doesn't line up with inconsistent color accuracy out of the box. Any minor color deviations can bolt your money's worth in creative work. Next, the ergonomic adjustments are limited despite a slim metal design. Sure, it tilts, pivots, and adjusts height, but some users found it less flexible compared to competing monitors that make those movements smoother and more stable. Also, there's an irritating mismatch in ports and connectivity. The Thunderbolt 4 ports, which seem perfect for Mac users, only work with MacBooks and devices with Apple Silicon introduced after 2020. So if you're rocking an older Mac or a Windows machine, those ports are basically useless. Samsung's stubborn focus on Mac exclusivity here limits who can tap into the full power of this setup, which is a big caveat for a monitor this expensive. Therefore, if you're a PC gamer or a Windows designer, you might find yourself struggling with limited input options and no easy wireless multi-screen setup alternatives. And here comes one thing that might make you chuckle and want to cry. The gaming hub sounds cool, right? Instant access to big games without a console or PC sounds like Samsung pulling the multitasking magic card. But user reviews indicate that while it's a neat idea, its execution is patchy at best. The selection of available games is limited, the interface gets clunky, and many reported lag issues. If you weren't already suspicious, here's a simple joke for you. Why did the gamer buy the ViewFinity S9? Because he wanted 5K pixels to spot lag 5 times faster. Okay, admittedly, not the best pun, but it points to the disconnect between promise and reality. Despite these gripes, the monitor still scores points with a few standout positives. The 5K resolution truly shines when displaying ultra-high-def content. Photos, videos, and detailed graphics look crisp and immersive compared to 4K monitors. The matte finish reduces annoying reflections that usually plague glossy screens, especially if you work near windows or bright lamps. Plus, the design is sleek, modern, and professional looking. It could blend seamlessly into a minimalist workspace. Samsung's dedication to color accuracy out of the box means it's better than average for everyday use. And if you're not a pixel peeper, you might be very happy with what you see. Now, here's a mini promise. If you stick around, I'll also reveal the best alternatives to the ViewFinity S9 that won't burn a hole in your pocket, but will deliver a more balanced experience overall. Because sometimes spending more isn't the smart purchase, especially when the shiny new toy comes with strings attached. Before we jump to alternatives, let's clarify. Who exactly should consider the Samsung ViewFinity S9? If you're an Apple fanatic with a MacBook Pro or Air released post-2021, and you want a beautiful 5K workspace for casual video calls, light photo editing, and streaming your favorite shows with smart TV apps, then this monitor ticks many boxes. The true color representation and slim design might make it worth the price tag. However, if you're a professional colorist, competitive gamer, or a multi-device user needing high adaptability and fine calibration, you might get more frustration than value. So keep your needs crystal clear. Speaking of clear, here's joke number 2. Why did the Samsung ViewFinity S9 bring sunglasses to work? Because it was tired of all the glare from its own matte display. All jokes aside, the matte screen's trade-off between anti-glare and sharpness is a central theme here. Let's talk about the hardware design and ergonomic features for a moment. The monitor has a slim metal frame and a sturdy adjustable stand that allows tilting up to 90 degrees for vertical document viewing. A nice touch for coders and editors working with long scripts or spreadsheets. It also supports VESA mounting, which helps if you want a cleaner desk setup with an arm mount. However, some users noted the pivot mechanism feels a bit stiff, making smooth angle adjustment a challenge. In contrast, many competing monitors in a similar price bracket offer more fluid motion, sometimes with cable management features to keep your space neat. Connectivity-wise, the inclusion of Thunderbolt 4 ports is great, but again, limited to Mac devices introduced after 2020. There's also a DisplayPort and HDMI port which work well for Windows users, but no USB-C with power delivery for charging laptops, a feature many modern monitors offer. So essentially, you're paying premium without getting some modern perks. Now, here's joke number 3. What do you call a monitor that promises everything but keeps Mac users exclusive? A ViewFinity S9. Okay, that's a bit cruel, but it highlights the frustration many Windows users express online. Let's circle back to software features like Apple AirPlay mirroring and the built-in Smart TV apps. Smart TV apps are a quirky, fun feature. Think of kicking back to watch Netflix or Disney Plus straight from your monitor without hooking up another device. However, the actual experience isn't flawless. Users complain about slow app updates and occasional bugs that disrupt streaming. Apple AirPlay is handy, but has limited compatibility as it requires newer iOS or macOS versions, so your mileage may vary. By now you might wonder, is the Samsung ViewFinity S9 worth it at all? My verdict: it's a beautiful, high-resolution monitor with a rich feature set ideal if you have specific devices, especially newer Macs, and want a combination of professional-grade image quality and added smart features. Yet its high price, limited port compatibility, inconsistent calibration tools, and mediocre gaming extras mean it's not the jack-of-all-trades it markets itself as. Here's a final promise twist. If you want a similar caliber monitor without the quirks, brands like LG and EZO offer 5K monitors with more reliable color performance and broader compatibility. For creatives on Windows, consider monitors with solid hardware calibration support and USB-C with power delivery. For gamers, sharp 4K monitors with high refresh rates might deliver better value. Samsung's ViewFinity S9 feels like it's caught between worlds, not fully mastering any. Before we wrap up, here's joke number 4 to seal the deal. Why did the monitor refuse to work on an old Mac? Because it didn't want to be part of the past. It preferred the Silicon Valley. Okay, a bit geeky, but hopefully got a smile as you think about the compatibility limits. In conclusion, if you want a sleek, high-resolution 5K monitor mainly for Mac users that includes smart features, built-in camera, and some entertainment perks, Samsung ViewFinity S9 can be a worthy pick. However, be cautious about its color accuracy reliability, limited connectivity for non-Mac users, and extra features that may feel half-baked. It's perfect for creative professionals on the latest Apple hardware who want a striking screen to elevate their workspace. But if you're on Windows, a gamer, or seek foolproof calibration, look elsewhere. For those ready to take the plunge or at least check the current best price, I've put the Amazon link right there in the description. Grab it with confidence now or explore alternatives that match your unique needs better. Thanks for watching, and remember, high resolution is great, but perfect compatibility and usability make a monitor truly priceless.